Hi Leo, welcome to your October 2019 astrology and tarot reading. Apologies for the delay in getting this out to you. I had recorded your reading about a few days ago and there was a technological error and I just felt that wasn't right for them. So that being said, here we are. It's a very different setup because I'm pressed for time and I want to get these out for you as soon as I can. I also have a hand injury. I've bruised knuckles from boxing. So my shuffling may be slow, but it will do. So Leo, full moon in Aries on the 13th, 14th of October. The weekend that I'm filming this, 5 of Swords. At what price and at what cost does being right actually inhibit you from what you want? We know for the fixed signs in general, and as a sign ruled by the sun, you guys do have, the dark side of Leo is that ego. It's that need to be right. And tarot isn't all about just telling you what is great about you, even though that's the best thing you can do with the Leo sign. But although you have so many wonderful, wonderful tendencies, generosity, warmth, enthusiasm, passion, that 5 of Swords is very clear that if you want something that you really, really want something this full moon, you have to weigh up the options of whether or not your ego is going to cost you that which you really desire, because ego and heart have very different ways of going about things, and you're faced with a choice. And the 5 of Swords is often, yes, it's winning, but it's not a 6 of Wands winning. It's not a 6 of Wands winning where everyone applauds your success. It's actually where people are hurt and you might be the victor, but it hurt people to get there. It comes at the price of loneliness. It comes at the price of, yes, I'm right. I'm sure that I'm right, but suddenly there's nobody around me. And this Aries full moon is very charged with beautiful aspects to Jupiter. That there's a beautiful, beautiful link there. And Jupiter is in that very happy part of the sky, the 5th house for you that rules love and romance and all those different things. But it's coming under intense pressure from Pluto in Capricorn, which for you is the 6th house of habit. Perhaps an old habit is actually keeping you from the love that you desire. And I think for a lot of Leos, it's that ego trap. It's that needing to be right is actually isolating you. But if you make a balanced, informed choice a little bit differently from what you've done before, 4 of Cups, you're not liking that. You're not liking that. You're like, no, but I'm right. I'm right. I know what I'm doing. The Libra season, my friends, is all about balance. High Priestess. Accepting the dark and the light of yourself, accepting the mystery, accepting that intuition does actually exist, even if you think it's based on nothing more than fantasy, it's not. You could be dealing with a Pisces, you could be dealing with someone who's very spiritual, very aware, very mystical in the High Priestess way, and someone who's just keeping their thoughts at the minute to themselves. Somebody here is not speaking. 4 of Cups, High Priestess. Someone is rejecting the open air, the open flow. Somebody is not speaking. And someone's thinking about speaking. 2 of Pentacles. They're weighing up the options, whether it's a good idea or not, but it involves pride. If you want this reconnection, if you want to move forward with your dreams, if you want to manifest with what you want, the Strength card, Leo, is telling you that you must tame the ferocious side of your nature, the hot-headed side of your nature. You must be graceful. Strength is your major arcana, and it's so clear to you that only by being humble yet strong, because that's a very delicate balance. Being humble yet strong, can you admit that maybe you were wrong here? Maybe you need to say sorry. Maybe you need to look at yourself a little deeper. Ooh, Knight of Wands. Yes, there's you, your energy. What flew away is the Six of Pentacles, making that offer, making that connection. But do you see how beautifully those colors marry? The Knight of Wands is the messenger of fire. That is you. That is you having the voice, you having the power to put your thoughts forward when whatever situation it is you choose. For some of you, it's offering something stable, something committed, but the Knight of Swords and the Nine of Wands doesn't really want you to have that, because you're scared of what you might get back from this humbling Nine of Wands. Your words are coming from a point of defense, and it's not going to progress anything for you. If you want this Ace of Pentacles, Four of Wands, you're going to have to accept that with the Six of Pentacles, the High Priestess, the Two of Pentacles. Balance is key. It's a sign and a lesson that everybody needs to learn. Seven of Wands, but you're so very defensive. If you could just understand, Leo, that what you want is being blocked by your own entitlement in many ways, be it career. You know, a lot of Leos go into jobs and it's just in your nature, because in your nature is actually royalty. And you know that you deserve the best, you know you could do well in the role. But a lot of Leos want to go in at the top. It's working your way up doesn't come easily, because you just feel, unless you have Capricorn in your chart. It doesn't necessarily come easy, but here we have the option with the Fool card to taking chances, to jumping off the edge, not knowing what's down below. If there's solid ground below, or hand to hold, or a hell to pay, what do you say? And underneath that, Nine of Cups. So, in terms of career, again, because this is sort of filtering through into everything that you want. You want to, I think you want recognition, but I think you want it so badly. And that can be in love too. You want somebody's attention. You want something this month you want it so badly that you're almost willing to resort to Five of Swords tactics, or even Knight of Wands tactics. You know, he's kind of the incurable flirt. And he's very charismatic and he's very warm and he's very driven, but oftentimes that Knight of Wands can come and go far too quick for any project, for any employer, for any relationship. He's always setting off for short-term gain. You know, he doesn't have the king awareness yet, which is why we have the Knight of Swords here as well, that gives this instantaneous, like, if it doesn't happen right now, I'm just going to give it up. And for a lot of you, that's a relationship. With the Ace of Pentacles and the Four of Wands, there's a potential for something solid, or at least there has been. And the problem here is that with the Six of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands, ego got in the way of two people in an exchange of something quite balanced. And I think a lot of you are expecting something to be perfect instantaneously, which just cannot be perfect instantaneously unless you're willing to look inward a little bit and see where maybe your defenses are blocking you from actual heart connections. The Four of Cups is a beautiful offering of love coming from the sky. And this is you rejecting it because you think possibly it's just not worth the effort. This should be perfect. This should be better. Why isn't this going this way? The Five of Swords can be quite a deceitful energy. And I think for a lot of Leos, it's telling you that whatever it is in your life that's giving you this predicament, whatever in your life is giving you this lack of satisfaction, you have to go back to the source. You kind of have to look back inward at you and say, why am I making these choices? Am I picking these relationships for short-term gain rather than long-term? Am I actually okay with long-term? Could I build something, or does it have to come ready-made? You know? We all know that cooking a meal from fresh ingredients is going to be better for you than taking a ready meal just because it's convenient and it maybe smells good and it looks good. It won't taste as good as the home cooked stuff. If you've been building something and you're suddenly getting into your own ego trap about what this is, of whether or not you can, because Leo, you're not always right. Nobody is. And you deserve the best, this is true, but don't let your ego stand in the way of the best just because you think that 7 of Wands, 9 of Wands, you have to defend your position all the time. Because that's going to stop you taking a chance. And you don't know what's on the other side of this chance. You don't know what's on the other side of this opportunity. I think it could be quite good. 9 of Cups. But it involves asking yourself, if you want to build something long term, could you do a little bit of self-evaluation with this full moon in Aries? Because the full moon in Aries is fundamentally one that is selfish. And it's one where we must all examine our own selfish tendencies within our relationships, within our bonds, within our career, and where we think maybe as children we came accustomed to feeling like we were the apple of our parents' eyes, or we were, constantly praised for that, and then we get into the real world and it's different. The Knight of Wands is not yet a king, but he can be a king if he learns how to give and receive, if he learns how to make offers, if he learns to communicate. He can build something with this 4 of Wands based on community. But oh no, we have the Knight of Swords here saying that you just want things now. And what does he lead to? He leads to wanting to give up. He leads to feeling defensive. Maybe you should try communicating. And maybe you should just listen to your intuition on what it is that you actually want, or who it is that you actually want. At the High Priestess and the Strength card, very much feminine energy is coming through as somewhat stronger here. Because the Knights are impervious and all about the conquest, all about winning, but at what cost? 5 of Swords. You may win the battle, but if you keep choosing from the ego, you're going to lose the war. And that's maybe choosing unhappy relationships because they look better in the short term. Or that's maybe, rushing into something because you think that everyone else will applaud you for it. Nobody else actually cares that much. You have to make these decisions based on you, because nobody's going home and thinking, gosh, isn't it great that Leo is in a relationship with a plonker? Or isn't it great that Leo has bitten everybody's heads off because they didn't agree today? No, they're worried about their own stuff. But if you're dealing with someone who's really very emotional, really very psychic, if you're dealing with a water sign, you run the risk of evaporating them just to make your point, and that's when things go. So if you are dealing with a water sign, Leo, just be careful that you don't evaporate them to the point that they're gone and then you're wondering where they went. Listen. Libra season is all about listening, communicating, being gracious. If you're dealing with an air sign, an Aquarius, Libra, or a Gemini, there is a lot of decisions to make. There's a lot of burdens to bear. You would be better learning how to communicate better so that you can wear them together, or at least you know where you stand with this person. If you're dealing with another fire sign, you guys are sort of coming up against each other with a selfishness where you both want things your way. And if you're dealing with an earth sign, there is potential there, but all the signs here kind of require a level of balance. I'm going to go more into the individual signs in the extended and communicate better each card and what it means. If this is where we say goodbye, Leo, I will see you in the next set of readings. Take care of yourself. I love you very, 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 very much. And I will see you guys soon. Bye, Leo.